In the early hours of December 4th, 2024, the bustling streets of Midtown Manhattan became the backdrop for a chilling event. Brian Thompson, the 50-year-old CEO of UnitedHealthcare, was fatally shot outside the New York Hilton Midtown Hotel. The masked man vanished into the darkness, leaving behind a scene of chaos and a whole nation in shock. This wasn't just an assassination. This was a message aimed at one of the most powerful and controversial systems in the United States, healthcare. And the man behind the trigger, Luigi Mangione, a name that would spark outrage, fascination, and fanfictions? Well, anyway, the shooter wasn't your average criminal. Born into a privileged Maryland family, Mangione had a life of comfort, a stellar academic record, and no history of violence. So what pushed him to murder one of the most powerful men in America? Some articles say he posted online in recent years about undergoing spinal surgery and struggling with chronic back pain, numbness, and even restless sleep, which he posted on his deleted Reddit account. People believe that this caused a growing discontent, particularly towards the healthcare industry, a sector he believed epitomized corporate greed and systemic corruption. His friends noted his increasing isolation after his back surgery, a period during which his hatred for the healthcare system intensified. This huge buildup of hatred caused him to plan the entire assassination plot of the healthcare CEO. Following the murder, the manhunt for Mangione spanned several days, capturing national attention. Then finally, one day he was caught. It was in Atlanta, Pennsylvania, at a McDonald's restaurant where his run from the law had ended. But it wasn't just his face that gave him away. The cops obtained his image from a youth hostel where he had stayed before the murder, and reports suggest he had lowered his mask to, guess what? Flirt with a receptionist, during which CCTV caught his whole face in the frame. A McDonald's employee recognized him from widely circulated images and alerted authorities immediately because he wanted the sweet $50,000 cash reward. But in the end, he got nothing because he called the wrong number. And upon his arrest, Mangione was found in possession of a 3D printed ghost gun, a silencer, fake ID documents, and a handwritten manifesto condemning the American healthcare system. The public's reaction to the CEO's assassination was polarized. While many condemned the act of violence, others expressed a disturbing sense of admiration for Mangione, viewing him as a necessity against corporate exploitation. This sentiment was evident across social media platforms, where debates raged over the ethics of his action, which caused his Twitter account to gain a lot of traction, and people quickly discovered some hidden messages. His Twitter header showed a Pokemon by the name of Breloom, his back surgery, and him on a mountain without a t-shirt. Some people speculate his favorite Pokemon is Breloom because his Pokédex number is 286, which when you search up Proverbs 286, you get this. Better is a poor man who walks in his integrity than a rich man who is crooked in his ways. Mangione currently has multiple federal charges, including stalking, a firearms offense involving a silencer, and murder through the use of a firearm, a charge that makes him eligible for the death penalty. Authorities say the writings in his notebook, in quote, express hostility towards the health insurance industry and wealthy executives in particular. As of today, Mangione is in custody at MDC Brooklyn, the same federal lockup where Diddy is currently jailed. He faces a maximum of life in prison without parole if convicted of the state charges. Then on December 19th, Mangione was extradited from Pennsylvania to New York and appeared in Manhattan federal court on the same day. During the hearing, he acknowledged that he understood the charges that were being pressed against him. Just look at how he's being escorted. This definitely looks like this is a message to the public that if you pull off crap like this is how you will be treated. But I personally think that this didn't work because they just made him look more badass. Finally, on December 23rd, 2024, Mangione appeared in Manhattan's Supreme Court, where he pleaded not guilty to the state charges.
Not guilty. I'm very concerned about my client's right to a fair trial in this case. He's being prejudiced by some statements that are being made by government officials. Like every other defendant, he is entitled to a presumption of innocence, but unfortunately, the way this has been handled so far, his rights are being violated. He's a young man, and he is being treated like a human ping pong ball between two warring jurisdictions here. These federal and state prosecutors are coordinating with one another, but at the expense of him. They have conflicting theories in their indictments, and they are literally treating him like he is like some sort of political fodder, like some sort of spectacle. He was on display for everyone to see in the biggest staged perp walk I've ever seen in my career. It was absolutely unnecessary. He's been cooperative with law enforcement.
His demeanor was notably relaxed. So what do you guys think? Is he guilty or is he being set up?